Hello friends, today we are going to do the unboxing and in-depth review of iQOO Z3 5G mobile. I bought this mobile for 17,490 from Amazon. I am using this mobile for the past 3 days. This is going to be an in-depth review. In this review, we would be discussing on the design and specs, build quality, call quality, signal quality, Bluetooth connection quality, fingerprint scanner, Wi-Fi speeds on both 5 and 2.4 GHz, charging time, game test, battery discharge, and to the end of the video, we would be discussing in depth of both the front and rear cameras with a lot of sample pics and videos. The sample pics and videos are taken indoor as well as outdoor and with different settings which will be explained in detail. Please do watch the complete video for better understanding. We would be even discussing on the heating of this mobile after playing Asphalt 9 game for 30 minutes. We would be even covering the advantages and disadvantages of this mobile as well. Now let's discuss on the specs of this mobile. This mobile comes in three variants. The one which you are seeing now is 6GB RAM with 128GB storage. There are two other variants which are 8GB RAM with 128GB storage and 8GB RAM with 256GB storage. The processor used in this mobile is Snapdragon 768G 5G. This mobile supports two bands in 5G. This mobile comes with 55W flash charge. The charge provided in the box is from Vivo, which is a 65W charger. The refresh rate can be set to 120Hz. The rear camera is a 64 megapixel shooter. The rear camera housing contains three cameras. First one is the 64 megapixel main camera, 8 megapixel wide angle and 2 megapixel macro camera. The front camera is 16 megapixel shooter. This mobile comes with 5-layer cooling system. Now let's go ahead with the unboxing. As you can see, there is iQOO branding on top of the box. So let's remove this cover and see what's inside the box. First we will do the unboxing and then we will do the complete in-depth review. I have been using this mobile for the past 3 days. So I would be covering on most of the observations. So let's go ahead and remove this. So as you can see, there is iQOO Z3 5G branding to the side and to the top there is iQOO branding. It's a black box with yellow colors for the iQOO. So let's go ahead and cut the seal as well. I bought this mobile for 17,490. The actual price was 20,990, but there was an Amazon discount of 1,000 rupees and ICICI credit card discount of 1,500. So I got it for 17,490. So let's see what's inside this. So this is the charging cable. This is the charging cable. This is the SIM ejector pin and few documents. I think the quick start guide and some warranty information. Two documents which are the quick start guide and the warranty information. We have a SIM ejector tool. We have the charging cable and we have the case as well. So let's see the charging cable. It's a USB to Type-C charging cable. It's a 55, there is 55 watt mentioned on the charging cable. So this mobile supports 55 watt charging. So let's see the case. It's a transparent case. The case is quite thick and it looks durable. It is a transparent case. Now let's go ahead and see what's inside the box. This is the iQOO Z3 5G mobile. So I have ordered the blue color one. The cyber blue, or it's called cyber blue, I think. So it's a blue color one. So let's go ahead and see the charger brick. So this is the 65 watt charger brick from Vivo. It supports flash charge. It's quite heavy. The charger brick is heavy. As you can see, Vivo branding on the charger brick. So let's go ahead and see the mobile. This is the mobile. It's in a protective cover. So this is how the mobile looks. So this is how the mobile looks. It's quite thin. It looks good. This is the blue color. You can see to the back there is the camera housing. You have three shooters. The top one is the wide angle, the middle one is the 64 megapixel, and the bottom one is the 2 megapixel macro, and beside the macro is the LED flash. To the bottom on the back side you see the iQOO branding. In this color we are not able to see the iQOO branding properly, and the color looks good. So to the front, this is how it looks. The mobile is quite large. It's not thick, it's very thin, which is good. And to the side you have to the right side you have the volume rocker and the power on off button. To the bottom you have the speaker, the charger port, and the 3.5mm jack. To the left side you don't have anything else. It's quite clean. And to the top you have the hybrid SIM slot housing, which can support one SIM and one micro SD. And this is how the mobile looks. It's quite handy, but the mobile is quite large. You cannot operate it with a single hand. The design seems to be as curved edge, but it's not a curved edge design. It's not a curved edge screen. The design looks like a curved edge screen. So you have a small, the design is like you have a small cut at the volume rocker and the power on off button. The power on off button works as a fingerprint scanner as well. So this is how the mobile looks. The camera housing has a bump at the back. So let's insert this in the provided case and see how it looks. The case is quite strong and a bit bulky. So let's see how it looks after inserting into the case. Yeah, so this is how it looks after inserting into the case. With the case the phone looks bulky, but the phone is not bulky. The phone looks quite good. So let's go ahead and remove the case. The design is quite clean. To the back you can see just the camera housing and the iQOO branding, and with this color, with the blue color, the iQOO branding even looks good. The color looks good, but it's subject to individual perception. You can see the camera bump at the back and the design to the sides. It's a curved design to the sides. The sides are curved, and there is a small cut to the volume rocker button and the power button. Now I have switched on the mobile. I will show you the boot up time in the later part of the video. So let's go ahead and see the settings and see the Android version, the RAM, storage, and the processor. So the mobile is quite slippery, so you need a case to hold this mobile. It's quite slippery. The back is quite smooth and the phone is quite slippery. It looks good, but it's quite slippery. So let's go ahead and see. So it comes with FunTouch OS. So the processor is 2.8 GHz Snapdragon 768G octa-core. The RAM is 6 GB plus 1 GB. This plus 1 GB is not the actual RAM. It is taken from your storage. The phone storage is 128 GB and the Android version is 11. So it is like extended RAM, 6 GB plus 1 GB. The 6 GB is the actual RAM and the 1 GB is taken from your storage, the 128 GB storage. So the OS, it comes with FunTouch OS 11.1, and the Android security update is April 1st. So this is the information regarding the mobile. And then let's go ahead and see the display things. So you have adaptive display, you have eye protection, which is nothing but the blue light filter. You have the dark theme, so you can change the This is the white theme that you are seeing. You can change it to the dark theme as well. I'll show that in the later part of the video. So let's go ahead and see the screen refresh rates. You can see that there is a smart switch which switches automatically. So it is by default it is set to that. You have 60, 90 and 120 Hz. Let's set it to 120 Hz. If you set it to 120 Hz, the battery discharge would be more as it consumes more power, as it consumes more battery. So this is how the refresh rate is working. There are a lot of pre-installed apps. Let's go ahead and see if we can uninstall the app. Yes, we can uninstall the app. So these are few pre-installed. There are few pre-installed apps. This is the Daily Hunt. There is Moz. There is MX Takatak. So let's go ahead and uninstall those and see if we can uninstall the pre-installed apps. You can see the Moz app here. So let's go ahead and uninstall it. Yes, we can uninstall it. I'm not able to see whether you can see the uninstall option or not. Yes, but we can uninstall it. As you can see, we are able to uninstall the apps. The phone is quite slippery. You need to hold it with a firm grip if you do not have the case. Be careful if you are using the phone without the case. So yes, we are able to uninstall the apps. Now let's go ahead and see the actual storage space that is left and the RAM, how much RAM the mobile is utilizing. So let's go ahead and see that. So we have to go to the settings and RAM and storage space. You can see that 17.89 GB is already used out of the 128 GB, and out of the 6 GB RAM, 2.57 GB is already used by the system. You can see the extended RAM option enabled below that. So the extra, if you enable that, 1 GB of the storage space is used as RAM. You can see that 16 GB is already used by Android 11. Now let's go ahead and see what all options are there in the top drawer. So you can see all these options in the top drawer. Let me slide it. Yeah, you can see all these in the top drawer. So these are all the options available. Now let's test the fingerprint scanner. The fingerprint scanner is quite fast and it unlocks the phone immediately. As you can see, we are locking and unlocking it multiple times, and the fingerprint scanner works really good. The power on button works as a fingerprint scanner as well. So I am using a different finger to switch it on, but the fingerprint is not working, whereas the thumb, it works perfectly fine. So now let's go ahead and test the speeds in the 5 GHz Wi-Fi. With the 5 GHz Wi-Fi, I have a 100 Mbps broadband plan, and with the 5 GHz speed, we are getting the 100 Mbps speed. We are getting the complete 100 Mbps speed. So this is the 5 GHz Wi-Fi test. Next, we will be doing the 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi test as well. As you can see, the download speed is 101.27 Mbps. My broadband plan itself is 100 Mbps. You can see that it is connected to the 5 GHz signal. The MADI 5 GHz is a 5 GHz signal. Let's go ahead and test it once again. As you can see, we are getting the full download speed in 5 GHz. Now let's go ahead and test the 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi speeds. Let's go ahead and test the. Now I have connected to the 2.4 GHz signal, and let's see the speeds in the 2.4 GHz. As you can see, the 2.4 GHz is giving a speed of around 50 Mbps. This is the same this is the same speed that I get in my laptop as well with the 2.4 GHz signal. With the 5 GHz signal, even in my laptop, I get a speed of 100 Mbps. So let's test once again with the 2.4 GHz signal. So yes, we are getting a speed of 50 Mbps, around 50 Mbps with the 2.4 GHz signal, which is quite good. Even my Lenovo ThinkPad gives me the same speeds. Now let's test the speaker. I won't be speaking anything. You can hear the speaker. The speaker is quite loud. So let me increase the volume now.
TP-Link AC600 Nano Wireless USB
As you can
adapter.
see, the volume is loud and clear. The speaker is loud and clear.
Nano. It's a nano
And
size adapter. The features are
the speaker is bottom firing speaker. Let me block the speaker so you can see that the volume completely was completely reduces when I block the speaker, and when I unblock it you can hear the volume. The speaker is quite loud
Windows
and
Mac.
clear. It's quite loud and clear.
So let's see what the TP-Link AC600 Nano Wireless USB adapter.
This is the speaker is the bottom firing one. As you can see, if I block it, you cannot hear anything, and if I unblock it, you can hear the volume. Now, let's check the switch on time. So I have powered on the mobile. So you can see the time in which it powers on. It's quite fast. The switch on time is, the power on time is quite fast. You get the iQOO branding while you power on the mobile. See, it's already on. So it's quite fast. With the 128 refresh rate, the screen scrolling looks really good. So this is the battery. I have charged it to from 1 to 100%, which I'll show you later part in the video. The next part in the video, you can see that now the battery is 74%. The last full charge was 6 hours ago, and the screen usage since full charge is 3 hours 4 minutes, and the remaining battery is 74%. So even after the screen was on for 3 hours, almost 3 hours, the battery discharge was 25%. So the mostly used apps are YouTube, camera. Now let's go ahead and check how the SD card is displayed. So this is how the SD card is displayed. In the storage, if you see at the end, there is a disk, and in that you can see the 64 GB micro SD card that I have inserted. Now let's do the charging test. So I am going to charge the mobile from 1 to 100%. As you can see, now the battery is at 1%, and I will start the stopwatch once the mobile starts charging, and we will see in how much time the mobile reaches 1 to 100%. So now I have started the charging and started the stopwatch as well. So let's see. I will show you at every 10% increase in the charging, that is at 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 and 100. So you can see the time and the stopwatch as well for reference. So now it is at 1%. It is a 55 watt flash charge. So I have inserted the cable, and please do remember that the screen will be on throughout the complete charge from 1 to 100%, and after that I will check the heat of the mobile, the temperature of the mobile, once the battery charges from 1 to 100%. So as you can see, it's already 4 minutes 48 seconds and the battery has charged 10%. So to the end we will see how much heat the mobile gets, how much heat the mobile gets once the battery is charged from 1 to 100%. Now the battery is 20% charged, and you can see it is at 8 minutes 46 seconds. So it is charging quite fast, and do remember that the screen is completely on throughout the charge, so it might take a bit more time than charging when the screen is off. Now it is at 30%. It is 13 minutes 42 seconds and the battery charge is at 30%. You can refer the clock to the left if you have any doubts with the charging time. The charging is quite fast. So now it is at 40% and the time taken is 18 minutes. It's almost 19 minutes for the battery to reach from 1 to 40%. So I checked the mobile and it is not hot till now. It is not at all hot. It is like normal temperature. Now the battery has reached 50% charge and the time taken is 24 minutes. I checked the battery, I checked the mobile, and it is not at all hot. It is like normal mobile without any charge. Even if you don't put it for charge, what is the temperature? That is the same temperature that is there now. So let's see after 100%, and the screen is completely on and it is charging at very high speed. So now the battery is at 60% and it took 30 minutes to charge 60%. So now the battery is at 70% and the time taken to reach the charge from 1 to 70% is around 37 minutes. Now the battery is at 81% and the time taken is 43 minutes. The charging now the battery is at 90% and the time taken is 49 minutes. It's almost 50 minutes for the battery to reach from 1 to 90%. The charging brick has become hot, but the mobile is not at all hot. The mobile temperature has not at all increased. The charging brick, the one which you insert into the plug, is a bit hot. Now it is at 99%, and to reach 1 to 99% it took 58 minutes with the screen completely on during the past 58 minutes. So if the screen is turned off during the charge, it might charge even more faster. So let's see in how much time it reaches to 100%. Now I can feel a slight increase in the mobile temperature, but it is very light increase in temperature, not much, which we need to worry about. So as advertised, the cooling system seems to be good in this mobile. Now the mobile has reached 100% charge and it is at 1 hour 1 minute 33 seconds. So in 1 hour 1 minute 33 seconds this mobile has charged from 1 to 100%. So this completes the charge test, and there is a very slight increase in temperature. Even though the charging was so fast, it's very light increase in temperature, very slight increase in temperature, so it's not much. Now let me go ahead and play the Asphalt 9 game for half an hour. I am not a person who plays games in the mobile, so for this test I'll go ahead and play the Asphalt 9 game for 30 minutes and see how it handles. I have set the settings to the best settings. You can see that the high quality, the visual quality is very high. It's not in default mode, so I have set it to high quality, and now I'll go ahead and play the game for 30 minutes and see whether that increases the temperature, and we can even check whether there are any frame drops. I will even check whether there are any frame drops during the gameplay. So the LCD display, as you can see, it is good. It is quite good. The LCD display is quite good. So let's go ahead and play the game. I played the game for more than 30 minutes and the temperature increase was very minimal. It's not that we need to worry about it. It was very slight increase in the temperature even after playing this game for more than 40 minutes, and the battery discharge was around 4% for the 30 minutes of gameplay. No frame drops or screen hanging is observed during the gameplay. It was quite smooth and the graphics were in detail. I did not observe any frame drops or screen the flow of the car slowing down or screen hangs during the gameplay. Let's go ahead and check the camera interface now. I will show you all the options in the camera, and after this there will be I will post the complete I will post a lot of sample pics and videos with all the multiple combinations of the front and rear cameras. You can have a look through them. So now let's see the interface. So once you go to the rear camera, so these are all the options we have: night mode, portrait mode, photo, video and more. The 64 megapixel can be enabled at the more option. So let's see in the settings what all we can play around with the camera app. So in the settings you have all these options. You can have all these options in the settings to which you can play around with. So this is the rear camera. So you have AI, HDR. So you can enable and disable the HDR, you can enable and disable the AI, and you can turn the flash on. The flash on has 3 options: auto, turn on, fill light and turn off. 4 options. So now, in the video let's see what all settings are there. So these are the multiple options in the video mode. So in the resolution you have 720p, 1080p and 4K. This is for the video recording. So the frame rate can be 30 frames and 60 frames. So now it is in full HD. So you have 30 and 60 in full HD. In 720p also you have 30 and 60, and in 4K as well you have 30 and 60. So you can select any of these and do the video recording as per your requirement. So this is the framing lines if you want this, and there is movie. So these are all the different options in the camera app. So these are the filters. This is for the video, and this is the beauty mode, the one which we saw. And in the photo you have these filters, all these filters. There are plenty of filters in the photo mode. And this is the night, this is the portrait. In the portrait you have style, beauty and bokeh effects. So in the style you have all these. In the beauty mode you have these, and in the bokeh mode you have this. So these are the camera samples that I said that I would post at the end of the video. So these are the camera samples that are taken from the rear camera. These are in the indoor. These are inside the home, indoor pics. So without much of the lighting. So you can see that the details are quite good with the default settings. And this is when I open the curtains and let the sunlight in with a bit of more brightness. You can see that the pics are more bright now. These are all with the default settings with HDR off, and these are few of the these are few of the camera samples with HDR off. You can see that the rear camera captures very good details even with low light or even with low light conditions. You can see the details on this, the dust on the external Seagate hard disk. These are all the rear camera pics with HDR off. You can see the bright sunlight getting captured in the pic quite good. This is the ultra wide. So the ultra wide is okay. It's not good. It's not good, or it's not very good. It's okay. So you can see that the noise creeping into the pics in indoor lighting conditions. All these are ultra wide pics. So this mobile has a 8 megapixel ultra wide camera. So this is the macro. These are the macro shots. This mobile comes with 2 megapixel macro, and macro is not good. The 2 megapixel macro in indoor lighting conditions cannot capture good pics. So these are the macro, and this is the rear camera with HDR enabled in indoor lighting. So you can see the details that are getting captured. It's quite good. These pics are with HDR. You can see the left side bottom of your screen for the details of the pics. I have captured the same pics to show you the difference between the two pics. All these are in indoor lighting conditions. So with natural light, only sunlight, no artificial lighting, only natural light. The rear camera is capturing decent photos. The main rear camera is capturing decent photos. This is with the front camera, the selfie camera. So you can see the difference in the picture quality. The same pictures you can refer with the rear camera and compare it with the selfie camera. This is the rear camera outdoor conditions. You can see the bright sunlight getting captured properly in the pics. This is with the default settings with HDR on. The pics are captured through the rear camera. This is the 64 megapixel capture. I don't see much difference between the 64 megapixel and the default setting camera. So the 64 megapixel pic takes around 13 MB, whereas the the default camera takes around 3 to 4 MB. But if you zoom into the details, it's not much that is getting captured with the 64 megapixel. So you can use the default camera itself. These are all with the rear camera set at 64 megapixel. This is the selfie camera, the front camera in the outdoor conditions. You can see the difference in the picture quality between the rear and the selfie camera, even in the outdoor or in the indoor conditions. The rear camera is good when compared with the selfie camera. The selfie camera is 16 megapixel camera. So this is the selfie camera video recording at 1080p. You can see that I have closed the curtains and this is in a low lighting condition. This is how the video gets captured in the selfie camera in this mobile in low lighting conditions. So now I have opened the curtains and let the sunlight in. This is how the quality of the selfie camera is in indoor lighting conditions with bit of a light, more light compared to less light. This is getting recorded at 1080p full HD. So this is how the quality of the selfie camera is in this mobile. So let's zoom in. So this is how the zoom works. This is the video recording of the selfie camera at outdoor conditions, in outdoor conditions. So this is the quality of the video at outdoor conditions. There is bright sunlight. This is the morning sunlight. And this is how it gets captured. This is the rear camera in outdoor conditions at 1080p, recorded at 1080p, 30 frames per second. This is at 30 frames per second. 1080p recording with the rear camera at 30 frames per second. This is how the quality is. So this is the zoom. So this is the zoom out. This is with the rear camera recording, rear camera video recording at 1080p with 60 frames per second. So I have taken the same video so that you can see the difference. So let's zoom in now. So this is the zoom and zoom out. So this is, I have taken the video at 1080p with 30 frames second while walking, so that you can see the shakiness of the camera. It's not shaking much. I am walking and recording the video, as you can see. So this is at 1080p with 60 frames per second while walking. With the 64, when you set the camera to 64 megapixel, it doesn't allow you to record videos. It's only for taking pictures. Let's discuss on the call quality. The call quality is good. The earpiece provided in this mobile is really good. It's quite loud and clear. The mic is good as well. The other person can hear our voice loud and clear. Let's discuss on the signal quality. The signal reception is good. I have tested with Airtel. This mobile showed good signal even in places where my LG mobile showed very less cellular signal. Let's discuss on Bluetooth connectivity and quality. The Bluetooth connection is pretty fast. No interruptions in the audio during calls or listening to music via Bluetooth. The quality of the audio via Bluetooth is good. Let's discuss on the advantages and disadvantages of iQOO Z3 5G mobile. The advantages are good hardware at this price point, looks good, fast charging, good heat control, high refresh rates, and this mobile comes with 5G support. The disadvantages are average cameras, only 2 bands supported in 5G, the wide angle and macro cameras are not up to the mark. I have even captured the 4K video recording in 30 and 60 frames per second in both stable video recording and while walking. As my video editor is not allowing me to edit 4K videos, I would upload these videos separately and would post the links for these videos to the top right side of your screen as well as in the description. Do watch those videos as well. With this, the review has come to an end. Please like my video if you like my review. Please find the Amazon product link in the description. Please do post your queries as comments. Please do like, share and subscribe my channel for further interesting reviews, updates and videos. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.